All right. Well, we're back with our August vinyl record haul, and today we've got a lot to talk about. I've talked before about how I have an issue with buying vinyl record, but I think this month I really went overboard and really need to reel it way back in. I'm gonna put myself on a big vinyl restriction with the support of my lovely family. I did have my son in here trying to help me with this video, but he couldn't hang going through all the records because there were so many. Before I get started, I do want to encourage you, if you come here to watch the record collection, I want to encourage you to check out the podcast. I do have, I put them on YouTube first, and then they go up on all the sites where podcasts are. But I just had Aaron Carnes of the podcast In Defense of Ska, who also is the author of the book In Defense of Ska. We talked about his new edition of his book, and we talked a lot about ska in general. Highly encourage you to check out the book. Highly encourage you to check out the podcast. Without further ado, I've got a lot of records to get into, so let's do it. Now, the first 4 records were all given to me. I had a friend who was trying to sell a collection from a family member and didn't really know, like, what's the best way to get rid of these records? How do I go about it? And so I gave some advice, and as a result of that advice, they were kind enough to let me pick a few records out of their collection to keep. So these are the ones that I chose to keep. I started with David Bowie. Tonight. This is a 12-inch single, and I don't have any 12-inch singles. Whoop, this is a 12-inch single. I don't have any of those. Black vinyl. Great songs. I don't really have any David Bowie, and I need to fix that. So I saw some David Bowie, and even though it was a single, I was like, let's go for it. So next up is the very best of Hank Williams, also on black vinyl. This is Hank Williams Sr., I always think about my grandfather when I'm listening to Hank Williams. And when I'm thinking about my grandfather, I almost always put Hank Williams on. He used to sit on his front porch and sing Hey Good Lookin' or Act Naturally. And so this album's got Hey Good Lookin', so it's something that I can put on and think fondly of my grandfather. I do think eventually I'll get like a more expansive greatest hits because I think I need one that's got I Saw the Light on it. But I'm really happy to have this in the collection right now. Again, single LP, black vinyl, and one of the 4 that I was given, which is such a blessing. Let's see here. All right, so the third is Willie Nelson and Family, Honeysuckle Rose. This is actually a soundtrack. Let me fix this mic a little bit. This is actually a soundtrack that I'm not as familiar with. But I saw Willie Nelson. I love Willie Nelson. I was happy to pick one up. It's in really great shape. It's a 2 LP black vinyl, and it's not just Willie Nelson. There's a lot of great artists on here, but this is a soundtrack for a movie. And my eyes are not as good as they could be, but I can tell you that there's, a bunch of other artists on here. There's a lot of Willie Nelson. There's also some Emmylou Harris on here. So just different stuff to enjoy. 2 LP soundtrack, great condition. Happy to add that to the collection. And the 4th one that I got for free was Jimmy Buffett, Changes in Latitude, Changes in Attitude. Now, this album's actually currently getting a repress, and I was considering buying the repress, but I had said, you know what? I shouldn't buy any more Jimmy Buffett. I bought a bunch recently. I should step back. And then this ended up being available for me to get for free. It's got Changes in Latitude, Changes in Attitude, the song. It's also got Margaritaville. So this is the album that those debuted on. Great album. Black vinyl, single LP. Really happy to have it. Pardon my reach. There's a lot of records to go through today. The next one is Your Broken Hero, The End, E-N-D question mark. So if you're not familiar with Your Broken Hero, it's sort of a humorous account on social media that's sort of parodying emo while also being like really fantastic emo. It's primarily this guy named Matt Kutzall, and pardon me if I mispronounced his last name. But these songs are really great. He does these videos like Felt Emo Might Delete, which are really funny. And he started doing these videos that were emo music videos from the band Your Broken Hero. And they're awesome. They're really funny. He did a song called A Letter to Ashley. That was the first one. And there's a lot of tropes in there, a lot of funny things in the video. Tommy's Face is the second track, and it's one of my favorite. And it features Spencer from Chamberlain from Under Oath. Really, really good. All the music videos are fantastic. Highly recommend. It is single LP, but check out this colorway. Absolutely gorgeous. This sort of purple, and I don't even know if you can see it very well, but it's very, very rich purple, real smoky. So really glad to have that in the collection. I added another Christmas album. Told you guys that I'm a big Christmas music person, so we added Kelly Clarkson's newest Christmas album, When Christmas Comes Around. A lot of great classics on here. There's a song on here with Ariana Grande. Some sort of originals, or if they're not originals, I don't know them, but there's definitely some classics and some less known. Gold vinyl. Got this on a great deal from Universal Music. I had pre-ordered this, or not pre-ordered it, but I had ordered it a couple months ago. We changed some plans. We were going to do something. We decided not to do it. We decided to buy some vinyl instead. I talked about that, I think, in the last video. The next one is Zach Bryan. So this is, it's classified as country music, but I think of it in the same vein as I think of like Ryan Adams, where it's kind of like alt country. It's not exactly like what you would think of. It's more mellow, more singer-songwritery. His albums usually start off with a poem. He's very prolific like Ryan Adams is, and I really enjoy what I've heard so far. It is double LP black vinyl. Picked this up at Target. Very glad to have this. Really good album. I may have to hear a lot more from him in the future. Next, this is another one that I ordered a while back, specifically as part of that, like, we're going to add more music and invite people over kind of thing. And that is Ingrid Michaelson's Be Okay. I really love Ingrid Michaelson. She has a new album that just came out, which is a mix of like some newer stuff, a lot of love songs and dream songs, that kind of thing. She just recently kind of wrote the music for the musical The Notebook, and so there's a song from that on there. But I've liked this album and Boys and Girls were albums I listened to a lot. Might be called Girls and Boys, but I listened to both of those albums a lot, and they're both really good. So I added Be Okay. Hope to add the other one very, very soon. Ingrid Michaelson, very good. Now, I pretty much never do this, but I had a copy of an album that was like music from The Nightmare Before Christmas. However, one problem that I had with that is that it was a picture disc that was just poor quality. And I like picture discs. Sometimes they're good quality, sometimes they're not. My Michael Jackson picture discs are phenomenal, but the Nightmare Before Christmas one was terrible, and it was incomplete. It didn't have all the songs, so I decided to pick up a copy. It was on sale at Target. It's purple and also yellow vinyl. Very cool, matches the cover. Nightmare Before Christmas, Target exclusive edition. This is the full soundtrack. I've already given away the one that I had before to a coworker who we talk about music a lot. Next, I was very excited to get this one. Really loved the movie, loved the soundtrack. I've talked about it, I think, before. I've been on a country kick, and this is a fantastic country album. So I'm talking about Twisters, the album. This is the soundtrack. This has Luke Combs, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, Miranda Lambert, Bailey Zimmerman, Kane Brown, Thomas Rhett, Megan Maroney, Shania Twain, Tyler Childers, and more. It's on, I'm not sure this is going to really be super easy to see. Let's see. I don't even know if I remember. Yeah, it's like a milky white, transparent kind of color. But double LP, really great album. Spent a lot of time. Keep walking away from the mic while I'm talking. Spent a lot of time listening to that album. It's really good. If you enjoy country, I think you'll enjoy that album. So, next, this is one that I had owned on CD forever ago. Have not owned on vinyl, and it was a good price on Amazon, so I picked it up. Mindy Smith, One Moment More. This is like a very singer-songwritery, and it feels like it's mixed with jazz a little bit in some ways for me. That may be something no one else sees, but that's what I feel. She's got a song on here called Come to Jesus, which is a really great song. And she's also got a cover version of Jolene by Dolly Parton, which is fantastic. Love this album. Really glad to have it in the collection. Again, I owned it before on CD. Glad to have it on vinyl. Getting closer. So next we have Billie Eilish's new album, Hit Me Hard and Soft. This was a Target exclusive edition. It's supposed to be like a yellow vinyl. But this one is really much more of an orange, and the shades really vary because I believe it's like an eco pressing. You can see it's kind of like an orangish yellow. I love Billie Eilish. I was happy to add this to the collection. I've got her other full lengths. All right, so I was already at the point at this where I'm like, okay, I should probably stop getting vinyl for this month. It's gone a little bit crazy. And then it was like National Record Day or something like that, and there was a lot of record stores and you know, record labels that were doing great deals. And I was like, well, I'll just take a look. And that's the problem. Don't look. But I did. And so I picked up Yellow Card, Ocean Avenue. Very simple, single LP, black vinyl. But definitely an album I listened to a lot just after high school. So definitely was happy to add that to my collection as well. And then I kept going. See, we're not quite done yet. Let me make this a little more manageable. Then I went on a little bit of a Midwest emo kick, and I added Sunny Day Real Estate, Diary. This is the 30th anniversary edition. Picked this up at one of my favorite record stores, St. Marie Records in Fort Worth, Texas. This is a double LP, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, double LP, and it is again, sort of a milky white, transparent. It's got a little bit of a smoke in there. Really great album. If you don't know that album, you should. It's essential emo listening if you like emo. And while I was at it, this one, so this is a long story. I'll give you the short version. I bought the deluxe package of this album when it came out because I definitely wanted the specific pressing of this album. A friend of mine who I've had on the podcast and stuff, Jason Zyman from Unoriginal Vinyl, he kind of helped design this and get get it all together. It's not complete yet. It's missing its slipcase right now. But anyway, the long and short of it was you had to go to the concert to pick it up, which I did not realize when I ordered it. And so I had to get a friend to go pick it up for me. And so I ended up getting a friend of a friend to go pick it up for me. Turned out that friend of a friend was a friend with another friend. I mean, can you believe it? Did that even make sense? Anyway, the album that I'm talking about is the Juliana Theory, Understand This Is a Dream. I got number 97 of 250. The friend of a friend is here in this snapshot from the concert. And there was a lot of other swag that came with this. I kept some of it. I gave some of it to the friend of a friend of a friend. But look at this really pretty pressing. Really like that. So just waiting for the slipcase for that one. I'm going to leave that one up front. Okay, so next, this is an album I pre-ordered several months ago, and it came in. Ray LaMontagne, Long Way Home. If you don't know Ray LaMontagne, he's a singer-songwriter. Just a gorgeous voice. Absolutely beautiful. This pressing, I believe this one was the one that you had to order from his website, which is where I ordered it from. But, yeah, absolutely love him. Next, so I am trying to fill in a couple artists that are some of my favorites, trying to fill in their whole collection. And St. Marie Records had this one on sale. This is Death Cab for Cutie, songs about airplanes, or something about airplanes, excuse me. And the irony is that it's a boat on the front, and then just black vinyl. This is their first album ever, and I really didn't know it that well, but it is great. And I really, really like it. I'm really glad it's a part of my collection now. Another Midwest emo album that I had ordered that came in, American Football. This is the Newberry Comics exclusive pressing. Look at the color on this. Again, just spectacular. Really twinkly. If you've never heard American Football, they basically put one album out and then broke up and then got huge and put more music out. So, all right, next, I'm really trying to keep this going as fast as possible because there are so many. Next is my next Vinyl Me Please pressing. The first one I got last time was Miranda Lambert, my August Vinyl Me Please record, and this was a switch out as well as I did Brad Paisley, Fifth Gear. I love Brad Paisley. I don't have any of his records, and he really doesn't have a lot of stuff pressed to vinyl. But this, oh my goodness, this is a yellow. It's yellow, y'all, and like a sky blue. Several great songs on here. I'm trying to see if I can pull it out without totally messing up the whole packaging. So Tix is the big single on this, but there's a lot of other really great stuff on here. Really happy to have it in my collection. Again, really love Brad Paisley. Just a phenomenal guitarist, and a lot of great songs on that album. Still on the country kick, I picked up Lainey Wilson's new album, Whirlwind. This also Target exclusive edition. This one's not in Discogs yet, but I really hope to put it in there soon if no one else does. Because, again, look at this specific pressing. It is so gorgeous, this splatter. So I started listening to this. I was like, maybe I won't get it. And then I started listening to it. I was like, gosh, it's so darn good. So, and actually what convinced me was I was watching video. I watch a lot of videos about vinyl records, which is probably bad. I was watching a video about, from a record store in, I want to say it's in Philadelphia. It's called Spin Me Round Store. And they were talking about this as they were unboxing it and talking about how great it was. And I was like, all right, I'm going to have to give it more of a listen. And then I was like, I've got to buy it. So picked it up. Great deal. Now, the next things are a little random and a little different. So I found out about this comic book series that, at least for the first 7 issues, they actually did a 7-inch vinyl record pairing with the comic book issue. Now, I found out about this long after it had come out. So, but I called my local comic book store, Collected Comics. They had it. It was still for the original price, which is $15 each. And I picked up the 2 that they had. So they had issue number 3. The comic book's called What's the Furthest Place from Here? And the first one has the song Holocaust, as interpreted by Nothing, and Radio Free Europe, as interpreted by Restoration. So the deal is that these are cover songs, right? And so they're very unique. And really, I'll tell you why I wanted these in a second. But the next one I got was issue number 6. And this one has This Monkey Gone to Heaven, as interpreted by Gulch, and Gimme Some Truth, as interpreted by Military Gun. So I got those 2. What I'm really aiming for is the last one that had a record, which is number 7. And that one has Julian Baker, who's one of my favorites. And that's how I found out about it all. She had one of them on her store. It was already sold out. But it's Julian Baker and Sharon Van Eaton. And I'm like, I've got to find that. So I'm trying to. It's really hard to find. So the next thing I bought, and I'm just about done, I think I got 2 left to tell you about, is Post Malone's newest country album, F1000. Again, an album I just cannot put down. There's so many good guest spots on this. And there's the hype sticker's kind of translucent down here. But he's got Morgan Waller, Hardy, Blake Shelton, Brad Paisley, Billy Strings, Dolly Parton, Lainey Wilson, Luke Combs, Sierra Farrell, Jelly Roll, Tim McGraw, Chris Stapleton, Ernest, and Hank Williams Jr. And it's a silver vinyl, double LP. We got it. I mean, this dude's from right here in my neighborhood, basically in Grapevine. So you got to appreciate that for sure. And it's such a good album. Get on that country kick. I think I'm kind of off that country kick now because I went a little crazy with the vinyl. So I'm ready to back down a little. And the last record that I got is this one here, Motown No. 1s. Picked this up at Target while I was picking up some groceries. My wife's been feeling a little under the weather. She loves Motown music. I picked up some Sunflowers and some Motown to try and help her feel a little better. She's been feeling bad for a few days. This record's got so many good tracks on it, guys. This is one. It's a gold vinyl. It's got this really beautiful effect on it. But this one's got, right off the bat, just side 1. Please, Mr. Postman. Love is Like a Heat Wave. My Guy. My Girl. Where Did Our Love Go? Stop in the Name of Love. And Shotgun. That's side 1. And every side is just amazing. I'm always surprised when I get these Motown records because at the very end you end up with like this. I've got the best Motown Christmas. At the very end you get like a Boys to Men song, and it doesn't feel like it goes there, but it does because Boys to Men was on Motown. But you just don't think of them together. But so yeah, I went a little bit crazy with the 2 7-inches. I think that's 24 records this month. I will not be doing that again next month. Time to button down. Again, 4 of those were free. Many of those were pre-orders. That Juliana Theory I pre-ordered several months ago. But really, really, really happy to have everything that's in the collection. And I've got a couple planned. I pretty much know probably what I'm going to get in September, or what I'm going to. Some of them are going to be pre-orders, so you won't see them till October. Still have a few records that are pre-ordered that are not in from September. Many of those are albums I pre-ordered months ago as well. The deal with pre-orders is these records go on sale. You want to pre-order them so they don't sell out. But a lot of times you may pre-order an album and you may not see it for 6 months, 8 months, a year. Sometimes it's just a couple of months. Sometimes it's a couple of weeks. It really depends on the individual pressing and how far ahead they've thought. But I think right now I've got like 4 more that have been pre-ordered in past months that I'm waiting for them to come in. And I've got a plan for about 4 or 5 records, including my Vinyl Me Please album. I do know what my Vinyl Me Please album will be for September. I switched it out again. Haven't gotten a single album on my track yet. But anyway, hope you like seeing all these. And check back in to find out more and go listen to the podcast with Aaron Carnes.